c'è una signora qua. Yeah.
Hi. I have a question to Mr. Chazelle, and thanks for this uplifting movie. And I used to play music, and for me, your movie was like a kind of mixture of crescendos and decrescendos. So do you think like this when you're writing or directing a movie? Do you think like it's kind of a musical piece? Of course, it's a musical piece because it's a musical, but if you know what I mean, if you have it first or you write it and then you adjust it. And I have just one question because now maybe it's the only chance I can also ask in addition. At the opening scene, did you think about the famous video for R.E.M., Everybody Hurts?
Yeah, though I mean, yeah, I did, but though I think like especially obviously being in Italy now, I mean, to me the iconic traffic jam in movies is 8½, and also a movie about movies, and Mastroianni rising from his car. And it's that same idea of being trapped and just you resort to fantasy to get out of it. It's what I wish I could do in real life. Either float out of the car in the traffic jam or dance. Yeah, I mean, I'm a musician myself. I grew up playing music, so I think whether I want it to or not, music is always going to inform anything I do and the way I make it, whether it's about music or not. And one thing that was important to all of us making this movie was that even when it wasn't a song on screen, even during the non-musical parts, that it still feel musical, that the camera still move in a way that felt musical, and that the actors, I think like Emma and I probably talked about the rhythms of her speech patterns as much as we talked about, the singing. The idea was to try to have a continuum through every part of the movie.
I'm Laura from London. To Damien and Emma, though very surreal in the musical numbers that came into the movie, the script and the characters themselves are very, very real. What do you hope that young people entering the industry today will take from this?
Why don't I start? Yeah, I mean, in a way that was the whole idea of the movie from the outset. From its earliest days was trying to think, okay, can you take the magic of the old-fashioned musical that we all grew up loving, but make it about real life today, make it about real people where things don't always work out, where, the reality doesn't always live up to the dream. So the movie had to reflect both of those things. So it was really important to ground every moment of it. And that's why I was so lucky to work with someone like Emma or someone like Ryan, just actors of that caliber who questioned every line, who looked at every moment with an eye towards, how can we really invest this with as much realism and character authenticity as possible, even though it's a fantasy. In fact, precisely because it's a fantasy, because it's only with the real backdrop that I think the fantasy works at all.
And I would say that what I would hope young people would take away from it is, I don't know if you remember when Conan O'Brien left his show. I don't know if you all saw that. But he made a speech at the end of it, and he said to let go of cynicism, and that cynicism was the ugliest quality to him. And I think something about Damien and what Damien created and the hopefulness and the joy and the beauty of this medium, but also this story, is about, not that there aren't cynical moments where the characters slip into a kind of cynicism about what they're going through, but this movie is in no way cynical. It's about dreaming and hoping and working towards something to achieve something. And I think young people have fallen into a lot of cynicism and making fun of things and pointing out the flaws in everything. And this movie is anything but that. So it's a huge joy to be a part of it and to show it to young people that this is what I hope young people will do, is work hard to achieve their dreams and hope instead of be cynical.
Hello. Hi, Helen Barlow from Australia. Damien, we met on the Sundance red carpet before the premiere of Whiplash, and you were talking about this movie then already. I mean, how did the immense success of Whiplash affect this movie? It's an interesting subject, given the subject of this movie, in fact. Did you get more money for it? Were you able to go bigger? And Emma, I mean, I believe then that Miles Teller was possibly going to be the lead and in this movie. And Emma, you've worked so much with Ryan in the past. Was it a great thing to do a musical with your old buddy?